Sure.
I'm trying to think of all of the things I've like read and watched that's come out this year.
I can hear the dial-up.
I mean, it's been a lot. I'd have to like go back through because like
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like movies has been not so much. Well,
they've barely released any movies because it's still the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually, they've really geared up recently. I've watched a lot of movies recently.
It feels like all the big movies are just starting to come out.
Yeah, they're just
now.
starting to come out now because they were supposed to come out like a year ago.
Yeah, like I know like there's been some new MCU movies that I just haven't watched. Do you care about the MCU anymore?
Yo, I heard Eternals was like bad.
Yeah,
Eternals was rated really bad.
Really bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm going to watch it.
Not that I ever gave a shit about the MCU, but
I don't, the MCU now, it's like, okay, now you need to prove to me why I should care again. Now that it's over, to me, it's like, I don't think they can just coast off the success of the previous entries. I think, yeah, sure, we'll get like the series that everyone's going to go and watch, like Doctor Strange and all that stuff. Yeah, that's going to be cool. Yeah. But if they're trying to sell us on new characters, it's like, okay, how are you going to sell us now that at the moment, there's no big thing that we're planning towards.
Yeah,
right?
like I wanted to watch like Shang-Chi, for example, but also I had no like incentive to like go out and watch it,
I heard it was amazing though. Like a lot of people said it was really good, but also
I've heard it was really good.
But again, like you kind of like the same thing where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, a little burnt out on the whole superhero thing.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I'm really excited for superhero wise is Batman with Robert Pattinson. Just because
I'm looking forward to that.
I love Robert Pattinson. I think he's so fucking good in everything.
I like the Batman movies. Yeah. All the Batman movies are chill.
But like, because they've cast like what everyone thought was quite an unusual choice, which like Robert Pattinson is definitely. Well, I mean, it's unusual.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of his stuff that he's been in, like some of the indie films that he's done?
I've seen one indie film that he was in. I forgot the name of it, but
what happened in it? Roughly, do you remember? Oh, no.
Okay.
Because
it was literally the first indie film he did after the Twilight.
Yeah, so he kind of obviously like he kind of had a bad rap from Twilight because he was like. Well, he wasn't really acting.
Well, he was typecasted as well.
Yeah, I love interviews of him like shitting on Twilight.
No, he fucking hates it.
He hates it.
Rightfully so, because
he
I can only imagine what it felt like where he was like, I am a serious actor who trained professionally, went to like the most prestigious shit in the UK and all that, and now I'm here doing a fucking half-dead vampire who barely emotes. Right? And then he went on the whole kind of like indie film like series where he just did so many indie films. And he
tried to change his image.
Yeah, and then he was doing really good artistic films.
Yeah.
Some of them were amazing. The Lighthouse was amazing. If you haven't watched that, really amazing. Highly recommend it. It's got what's his name? Willem Dafoe, Ryuk, you may know him from Death Note.
My favorite Willem Dafoe role.
Actually, like amazing movie. And so far, I've just loved watching him. And so I feel like he's probably going to do something interesting with Batman that I'm excited for.
A lot of typecasted actors though have like gone down that route. Like Daniel Radcliffe went down like a massive indie film route, because everyone just knows him as fucking Harry.
He's not busy fucking kissing and fucking everyone on set.
Yeah. I went on like a massive binge of like Daniel Radcliffe like indie films, and like some of them are fucking amazing. Like Kill Your Darlings is an amazing.
He did a lot of odd films, and he did a lot of.
He does a lot of theater stuff. Yeah,
because he was like, I think it was quite a big thing in the UK right after Harry Potter ended, or during Harry Potter. He did something that required him to be like naked with like a horse or something.
Yeah.
And I remember in the UK, the tabloids were like, Daniel Radcliffe's a porn star now, and then like people were really trying to drag him because obviously British tabloids are like the fucking worst on earth. Like they're so bad.
They're like drama YouTubers, just
imagine if every newspaper just turned into Keemstar.
It's like literally basically. No, but like it's weird because I remember when someone like Leonardo DiCaprio was seen as the teen heartthrob,
the Titanic guy,
the Titanic guy, and how hard he had to work to like change that image. Even back then,
I mean, aging, right?
no, but even back then, he was like a hell of an actor, and I don't think people gave him enough credit at the time. I mean, I remember I remember it was like a prevailing joke where it's just like, if you ever feel bad about your day, remember that you have the same amount of Oscars as Leonardo DiCaprio.
He finally got one. He finally
got one. But now you see him aged up, and like he couldn't be more different, He
didn't age up; he glowed up.
He fucking glowed.
That boy glowed up.
Did you watch? You know what superhero I actually quite enjoyed recently?
What?
The Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad.
Oh, the Suicide
The
Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Wait, there's 2 Suicide Squads?
Yeah, there's a newer one that released on HBO.
So the one when I know James Gunn directed
by
it.
the director of Guardians
Was that
of the
good?
Galaxy.
Was that good?
Really good. Really, really good.
Really?
Really fun. Idris Elba's
Better than
main-
the Schneider cut?
Oh my god, it's like night and
Did
day.
you
like-
watch the Snyder Cut?
Yeah, it was awful. I wanted to die. It was terrible. What is it? My name's Katana. That means sword or something in Japanese. That's like the best line.
Is that a real line?
Yeah, one of the swords
my
like
God.
her name's Katana. It means sword in Japanese.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's something along those lines. I could be misquoting. Yeah, it was really good. Idris Elba is the main character in it, and Idris Elba is just a pleasure to watch always. He just seems to always just kill it, and John Cena's really good in it. He plays
John Cena.
he plays like a psychopath justice man. It's so good. So yeah, he plays a character called like Peacemaker, is it?
Yeah.
And he's just like a fucking murderer, but he's just like, it's all for peace. It's all for peace. And so he's very funny, really good in it. Really. It works. And then he's getting his own movie now, Peacekeeper.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Well,
coming
John
out.
Cena is just like fucking hilarious in every role I see.
really
him in.
good.
Yeah,
he's a really good actor.
He's actually a good actor,
Yeah.
The whole film was just really good, really fun, really well made.
Is it like a standalone thing, or is it gonna
yeah,
build up?
standalone, completely. As far as I know, they're not doing a sequel. I don't know though.
Because nowadays you just can't have a superhero movie without someone being like, "Oh, this is playing part of some
really like
cinematic universe."
No. I think it's just go watch it. I guess the other characters like Peacemaker's getting his own thing, but in terms of like this thing, dude, you can just watch it.
Suicide Squad cinematic
You can
universe
just watch it
starting
and
now.
turn your brain off. Like it's really good.
Does it have anything to do with the original?
No.
Because I watched the original and I'm just like, this is the most 5 out of 10 movie I've ever seen in my life.
It's in the same thing, so like it's like the same premise, but good.
Right.
So like
It's just a bit of a soft reboot.
yeah, it's a reboot. But like just watch it. It's one of those films where like you don't have to pay much attention.
Right.
It's just turn your brain off. A really good time for 2 hours.
At which point are we just going to not be able to track which new like superhero franchise is like which one's a reboot, which one's a building on to like the cinematic universe, which one
I
fits
already
into what?
am at that
Is the
stage.
new
Oh, I'm burnt out on
is
superheroes.
the new Batman film, is that part of the original? Is that something separate, or is that
Batman-
following
okay.
on from
Is-
like the Zack Snyder Batman? I'm so
All
fucking
right,
confused.
Controversial take. As much as Batman is a superhero, I don't watch Batman movies as a superhero movie. It doesn't feel like a superhero movie to me.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that.
Well, that's. I feel like
Suppose
that's
it's-
ever since the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
right?
It-
because that kind
it's-
of like I feel like that kind of redefined.
Yeah, you don't get
Like-
the. Whereas you watch a Marvel movie, you know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
And like to some extent, you do with Batman as well. But for some
But
reason,
when Batman goes down that route, though, they do it in like kind of like a campy, tongue-in-cheek route, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
like
'cause-
like the George Clooney like Batman route.
Because it's just like with Batman movies is like I always think, is this like a Batman movie or a Batman in the DC universe movie?
Right.
Like where, because if they make Batman in a movie that has to integrate with the rest of the DC universe, there are some rules
Yeah, it
that you need
should.
to like
Yeah,
acknowledge, Whereas if it's a standalone Batman movie, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, yeah,
with
'cause
that.
he's just a fucking weirdo. Like John
Yeah.
Wayne's just bizarre. Like you say, like what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
like, why is this man's hobby? But I mean, yeah, I really enjoy the Batman movies, and again, like I said, when it comes around, I don't feel like it's the same thing. And when I watch a Marvel movie, they've kind of gone to this formula recently that is kind of really boring and predictable, where it'll be like, all right, we're gonna have the thing with the really big stakes, and we'll crack a few jokes along the way. Of course, we're a family friendly movie, and so then now they've all turned into these pseudo action comedies in some aspects. Like Thor Ragnarok really like led the way for this. I think after Thor Ragnarok, like every single Marvel movie had to be funny.
I think it was always like that. It
No,
was always like
it really
that.
turned up to 10.
It was like you watch the first Avengers and you're just like, oh, everyone's got quips. Everyone's got something funny to say.
like it just like Thor Ragnarok was more of a comedy movie than an action movie. Did you watch it?
Yeah, of course I watched it.
There was more jokes than fucking plot points in that thing.
Yeah, but that's also what I liked about it.
Yeah,
you know?
I did too. And
But I'd argue like so is like Guardians of the Galaxy, which came before Thor, right? I feel like it's the same kind of vein, but
I just felt like everything started doing that.
yeah, I feel like everything's just kind of ramped up. And
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure if the newest Marvel movies
And then, like,
do it or
yeah.
not because I haven't watched them, obviously.
Apparently, Eternals has something like
I
that.
think Thor Ragnarok is just that formula formula is because Taika Waititi was directing it.
Yeah.
Because that's basically his formula, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But like,
Hemsworth was like
Yeah.
tired of doing the old like Shakespeare thing.
Yeah.
Well, every single goddamn Marvel movie now has the funny guy in it. Where it's someone who's like just there to crack jokes.
You mean Iron Man?
Well, yeah. Oh no, he doesn't crack jokes. I mean, there's someone else like, oh gosh, geez, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know, some fucking terrible joke to do. I don't know.
Ant-Man in general, like most of them, like all.
Yeah, but who gives a fuck about Ant-Man?
I think I give a fuck about Ant-Man, okay? That was a fun movie.
He's like the D tier of fucking Marvel characters, right? Like literally no one gave a shit about Ant-Man.
Well, I feel like that's what they're doing now with like the newer superhero movies, where like some of them you watch and you're just like, oh, you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
That's
to
why I
find
just
something
that's why I
out of
just like
this.
don't care about Marvel movies anymore. Like literally the last good Marvel movie I watched was probably like Iron Man 2.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, Infinity War. Infinity War was just. Did you watch that?
No.
Oh, it's such a good film. Like Infinity War was actually.
I only
very
know
good.
about the film through all the
Memes.
fucking memes.
Is that the last Marvel movie you watched?
Probably.
Oh my god.
Or maybe like
You don't
wait,
go to the cinema much, huh?
No, I just don't watch fucking Marvel films.
Oh.
Because I just don't care about superhero stuff. Like, fucking Deadpool was Marvel, right?
Technically, it was
Technically?
Marvel, but it was also Fox owned.
But it doesn't feel like a Marvel film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's in the X-Men universe.
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah,
X-Men
yeah,
universe.
It's more along
Yeah.
those lines.
Yeah.
But the X-Men universe has gone to shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the X-Men
They
universe
completely
gone
fucked
shit.
it into the
Which
ground.
sucks because I really enjoyed the X-Men stuff.
Well, Logan was like the best film, the last best X-Men
Yeah,
film we
yeah,
got.
I agree.
And then every subsequent film with anything to do with X-Men was just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think X-Men was like that great of a franchise.
Because they've always struggled with it. They've always struggled to.
They've had like some good films in the X-Men franchise, but if you take a franchise as a whole and lay them
it's
in
a
front of
weak-
me,
it's
it's
a
like
weak-
I think there's more bad movies than there are good movies in the X-Men franchise.
Especially the new stuff.